Welcome back to Clean Freaking Germaphobe. You know, I think because of COVID, we have all become a little bit more of a germaphobe than we used to before. Of course, I have always been a germaphobe long before COVID, but did you know that many people aren't disinfecting their homes even when they are using disinfectants like these to try to clean their surfaces? So in this video, I'm going to show you 2 things that people aren't doing that are making their disinfectants not effective to killing bacteria and viruses. And make sure to stick around to the end though, because I'm going to also show you one thing that people aren't doing when they're disinfecting their surfaces like this, they really should be doing that could be harmful for them and their family. So watch for that at the very end. But for now, let me show you these 2 things that you really need to know about so that you are properly disinfecting your surfaces. So right here on my counter here, I have got a very dirty surface. I've got some cereal, I've got some chips, and even a little bit of ground turkey from dinner. Now, when we're disinfecting our surfaces, a lot of people are going to just grab their disinfectant wipe, pull it out, and then they're going to come to this really dirty surface and they're going to get their disinfectant wipe or your spray, whatever it is that you use, and wipe down your surface. Just like that. And you consider this surface to now be disinfected, and that is false. Let me show you why. If your surface is already dirty with crumbs and dirt and debris, that is going to make the disinfectant less effective to killing bacteria and viruses. If you want to disinfect your surface, you want to start with a clean surface. Don't believe me? Just look at the instructions at the back of your disinfectant bottle. Pre-cleaning required prior to disinfection and sanitize. Basically what that means is if you want to disinfect and sanitize, you got to wipe all the debris and dirt off first before the disinfectant is going to work. So now that you've got your surface wiped down, the dirt and debris is gone. Now I want to jump into number 2, which is letting the disinfectant have a proper dwell time on your counter or your kitchen table or whatever other space you're trying to disinfect. So if you think that you can just take a disinfectant wipe and wipe it down like that and be done, most of the time that's not going to do it. So again, check the back of your disinfectant bottle. They're going to talk about how much time you need to leave the disinfectant wet, and I'm talking visibly wet on your surface in order for it to either sanitize and disinfect. So if you read your bottle, it will give you directions for either. And different disinfectants actually have different dwell times. So make sure you read the label of whatever disinfectant you are using. So here with this one, you'll see surface must remain wet for the entire contact time. Here you want to leave it for 10 seconds to sanitize, or you need to leave it for 4 minutes to disinfect. I'll show you here on this disinfectant as well. Allow surface to remain wet for 5 minutes. And again here with this disinfectant spray, to sanitize, let stand for 30 seconds, then allow it to air dry. To disinfect, let stand for 10 minutes to let it air dry. So if you want your disinfectant to be properly disinfecting and sanitizing, you need to make sure to read the label, because if you want it to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses, you got to follow the directions. So number 1, make sure your surface is completely wiped clean before you move on to the step of sanitizing or disinfecting. And number 2, make sure to read the label to figure out the dwell time for how long the disinfectant needs to stay wet in order to sanitize or disinfect. Now, if your dwell time is, for example, 4 minutes and you wipe down your surface and you can see that it's starting to dry, the way that you keep that surface visibly wet is you wipe down the surface again with that disinfectant. So the point is you want that to be wet in contact with your surface for the full dwell time. I hope that makes sense. One thing that you really need to be doing when you're using these types of disinfectants to keep your pets and your family safe. Now, if you are disinfecting your surface like your floor, you do not need to do this step. But if you are disinfecting surfaces where you eat off of, like your counter or your kitchen table, after you followed those 2 steps, you've left it on for the proper dwell time and then you've let it air dry, you need to make sure to rinse the surface clean. These types of products do leave a layer of disinfectant on your surfaces, and then if your child, for example, has grapes on the counter and then they pick it up and put that in their mouth and you have not rinsed your surface, guess what? They are now consuming some of that disinfectant, which of course we don't want to have happen. So after you've properly sanitized or disinfected your surface and you've let it air dry, make sure to wipe the surface clean with clear water. So I hope this video helps. If you did like it, hey, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, remember to subscribe to Clean Freaking Germaphobe. Remember to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads about cleaning tips and hacks. Up next, I'm going to show you one of my favorite videos about how to properly clean and sanitize your toilet. I'm going to link to that video right here. Click on that video and I will see you over there.